Life is often filled with ups and downs, and our ability to be able to navigate its challenges often depends on our perspective and mindset. Staying optimistic might come naturally to some of us, but there are individuals who seem to be trapped in that never ending cycle of negativity, and dealing with that type of pessimism can be really draining. Believe it or not, I grew up in the most negative household, so I know just how challenging it can be. From bitter experience, I've learned that it's essential to maintain your own positivity and mental well-being. In this video, we'll explore 5 effective strategies to help you deal with and manage negative individuals while keeping your own spirit shining bright. I'm Jo Banks. I've been a professional executive coach for almost 15 years, and I am sharing what I know. In all of my writing and whenever I'm dealing with the public, I've always openly shared my challenges, especially those that I experienced growing up. I think to me it's really important for people to understand that when I share things, I'm not coming from a standpoint of repeating what I've learned in a textbook or regurgitating someone else's work. My perspective comes from lived experience and my ongoing trials and tribulations in understanding my childhood and how it still impacts me even as an adult. I'm on a constant quest to find answers, tools, and techniques to support both me and my clients with our many and varied challenges. One of those challenges is dealing with negative people. I've mentioned on numerous occasions on my blog, which you can read at jobanks.net/blog, and in my books, that both my parents are, without a shadow of a doubt, the most negative people I've ever met. And I've met a lot of people. So, again, the following 5 strategies do not come from some textbook or a self help guru. They come from my lived experience. So, without further ado, here are my 5 tools for dealing with negative people. Number 1, empathy and understanding. Before attempting to manage negativity, it's important to approach these individuals with empathy and understanding. Often, negativity is the result of an underlying personal struggle, insecurities, or past experiences. By acknowledging their emotions, you create an environment where they may feel more comfortable sharing their feelings, and that can lead to more meaningful conversations. Many people who are overly pessimistic are often lacking attention and validation. Likely they got very little of those things in childhood, but discovered that if they had a problem, people would come to their aid. Unfortunately, these behaviours can become stuck from childhood and carried into adulthood. You've heard the term, give me the child until he's 7 and I'll show you the man. That's absolutely true. We learn many of our ways of thinking and our behaviours up to the age of 7, either by copying the adults around us or by trial and error. Many of those thoughts and behaviours then become subconsciously embedded programs that we continue to run for the rest of our lives, unless we consciously do something to change them. More on that in an upcoming video. Now, while it's important to be a good listener, try to avoid reinforcing the other person's negativity, because it can be really tempting to get into that negativity spiral with them. Instead, gently challenge their perspective by offering alternative viewpoints or suggesting positive aspects of the situation. Now, it doesn't always work, but it can work well with people who are only mildly negative. Number two, set healthy boundaries. While it's important to show compassion, it's equally vital to establish healthy boundaries. You can offer your support without allowing their negativity to consume your energy. The term energy vampire or mood hoover comes to mind here. You know the types of people I'm talking about. Those people who seem to suck the very life out of the room. Dementors is another good term that works well to describe these types of people. Unfortunately, if you, like me, are an empath, we tend to attract these types of people like flies to sugar. They will completely offload all of their problems without giving a thought to what's going on with you. They'll then walk away without a care in the world, meanwhile, leaving you wondering what the heck just happened. Knowing how to set boundaries, especially with this type of person, is absolutely crucial. Firstly, politely let them know when you're available to listen, but also communicate your need for positive and uplifting conversations. When negativity arises in a conversation, try to steer the discussion towards more constructive topics. Share your stories, ideas, or plans that focus on growth and positivity. This redirection can help shift their attention away from dwelling on the negative. After a while of doing that kind of redirection, you'll likely find that negative people won't come to you in the same way or with the same problems because they know that you won't engage in their negativity. I also recommend setting boundaries around the types of topics that are up for discussion, especially when it comes to family members. I've written loads on boundary setting with friends, family, parents, co workers on my blog at joebanks.net/blog. I'll leave the link in the description. Number three, stay positive yourself. Negativity can be contagious, so it's crucial for you to maintain your own positive mindset. Surround yourself with people, activities, and thoughts that uplift and inspire you. I always recommend turning off the news. There's lots of research now that shows that us continually being bombarded with negativity from the news keeps us stuck on high alert. It keeps us stuck in that survival mode because our brain can't tell the difference. It thinks that those things are happening to us or they're going to happen to us and keeps us on that kind of alertness level. So I really suggest limiting the amount of news you expose yourself to. I also suggest doing a social media cleanse. I do this frequently. Unfollow any accounts that make you feel negative or don't bring you joy. I'm really careful about what I let into my orbit, whether that's the things that I read, the things that I watch, things like the news, social media. Anything that really makes me feel uncomfortable and makes me feel negative when I've read it or been around it, that's something that I need to really consider whether I want in my life or not, because I've been so heavily programmed for negativity that I can slip back if I'm not vigilant. So I limit the opportunity for that negativity to come in. Engage in hobbies, practice gratitude, focus on your own growth so that you can create that buffer against the negativity around you. By the way, I am not referring to toxic positivity here. In other words, pretending that everything is okay when it's really not. I know from experience it can be hard to stay positive around negative people, but self preservation is critical. It's essential that you take care of your own needs above all else, and that is not selfish. I know it can be really difficult for some of you to hear this, But one saying that I use so frequently is, you can't pour from an empty cup. Getting rid of negative emotions. If someone leaves you feeling particularly drained after an encounter with them, which can happen to me quite frequently, the quickest way I know to get rid of that negative feeling is to either go for a quick 10-minute walk. And if you can't do that, another good way is to literally shake it out. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but what it does is it closes the fight, flight, freeze loop. So dead easy. All you need to do is, when you feel that feeling of anxiety or overwhelm or whatever you're feeling, literally start with shaking your hands, then your arms, then your whole body, stamp your feet, and you can even scream if there's no one in earshot, but be careful of that. We don't want people kind of coming running. But getting all of that energy out of your body, it really does help to make you feel better. It's literally pushing the negativity out of you and closing that loop, because fight, flight, freeze, our body is wanting to do something to get us away from the thing it's scared of. So by shaking it out, we circle and close that loop, making us feel better. It's pushing all that negativity out of us. Another great way is by the physiological sigh. So, physiological sigh is something that Andrew Huberman talks a lot about. Andrew Huberman is a neuroscientist at Stanford, amazing guy. This is a really good way to release any negativity, to release any stress or anxiety. So, you can do it with me. Basically, what we're going to do is breathe in through our nose twice so that our lungs thoroughly expand. Got to go in through your nose, and then we're going to do one long breath out of the mouth. So we go. Let's do it again. 2 in through the nose, 1 out through the mouth. One more time. Hopefully, you feel a little bit calmer. You can do that anytime, anywhere, whenever you're feeling stressed and a bit overwhelmed. Really amazing tool, clinically proven to reduce stress and anxiety. Okay, number 4, offer solutions and support. Negativity often stems from a feeling of powerlessness or inability to find solutions. When it's appropriate, offer your help in finding constructive ways to address their concerns. Show them that you're invested in their well-being and genuinely want to see positive changes. One thing I like to say when people start offloading onto me outside coaching sessions, which is really quite frequent, I ask them 3 questions. Do you want me to help you find solutions? Do you want my advice? Or do you just want me to listen? However, it's important to remember that just because people have problems does not mean it's your job to solve them. And again, outside of my coaching relationship with clients, that's something that I really have to work on. Finally, number 5, know when to step back. Despite your best efforts, not everyone is ready or willing to change their mindset. Some people actually don't want your help or solutions. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, they just want attention and validation. And there's a huge difference between wanting solutions and just wanting validation and attention. For people like this, there's no real value for them in sorting out their problems, because if they did, their misguided perception might be that the attention that they crave will also go away. I'm sure you've come across these types of people before, which is probably why you're watching this. You give them 1,000,001 solutions, really brilliant solutions that you know are going to work, probably because you've tried them yourself, but they don't take any of them on board. Instead, you find yourself having the same conversation again and again and again. And if they do happen to sort out an issue, you can guarantee that another one will be right behind it. So, if your interactions become consistently toxic or draining, it's okay to distance yourself for your own well being, even if that's a close family member. Your mental health should always be your priority. The wrap up. Dealing with perpetually negative people requires a delicate balance of empathy, patience, self preservation, and self preservation is critical. I've had to distance myself from negative family members because their constant toxicity, which is what it is, it's toxic, was actually affecting my physical and mental health. And I cannot allow that from anybody. So, by following these 5 strategies, offering empathy and understanding, setting strong boundaries, staying positive, offering solutions and support, and knowing when to step back, you can hopefully create a positive influence on the people around you, even in the face of negativity. Remember that you have the power to shape your interactions and responses. And by maintaining your own positive outlook, you can hopefully inspire others around you to do the same. And that's what I hope to do with my interactions. Please remember, however, that big changes don't happen overnight. If people are used to you being their negative sounding board, it will take a few interactions and you keeping strong boundaries before things begin to change. But they can change with persistence. What next? If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing does not cost anything, but helps YouTube know that this content is interesting, and so hopefully they'll push it out to more people. At the moment, I am uploading at least twice a week and will do so for the foreseeable future. So please support this channel and hit that notification button so that you don't miss a thing. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end, and enjoy the rest of your day.